You really got to get to be a line watcher when you're throwing a jerkbait. I like to hold it on a slack line. A lot of people are, they're guilty of holding it, you know, on a tight line, and they're always moving the bait. But when you hold a little slack in your line, you're letting that thing sit there, you're letting it fall a little bit if you got it weighted to sink. And I think that's about as key as anything you can do. There they are. Look at them.
Yeah, that's bass.
Them are bass.
For sure, that's bass.
You notice how they're hanging up here in this corner where that north wind isn't hitting though. I mean, I haven't seen, have you seen any activity on that?
I think the reason for that is because the shad are up here because north wind don't hit them.
Exactly.
You know,
Charlie, that's another thing about this bait. When we started working on the design of it was the castability. I mean, there's been a lot of good stick baits over the years, but the thing that really...
They did this helicopter deal, you know?
You'd throw a stick bait, man, they'd helicopter through the air. Well, with this weight transfer system we got in this bait, I mean, it throws like a rocket. I mean, you sail it out there and it goes tail first all the way, and it allows you to throw it into the wind. You know, so often we were forced to basically put the wind at our back and let the wind carry the bait, but with this thing you can throw it into the wind, and I've always felt like fishing a stick bait that you're a lot better off fishing it with the flow of the water, and the wind is going to create, you know, current flow, and that's just the way I like to fish one. So the weight transfer system was a huge deal in, you know, making this bait do what it needed to do. You know, one of the great things about the McStick, like we talked about earlier, is that weight transfer system, and basically when you pick that bait up out of the water, those balls drop to the tail right here. So what that does is it puts all the weight in the tail of that bait, and when you throw it, I mean, you can throw it so much farther into the wind. You just make sure you, when you pick it up, it loads up, and I mean, it throws like a rocket directly into the wind.
You got one, you got one.
Oh, that's a lot better fish right there.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That's the kind we come to catch.
That is a good fish right there.
That's
you
a
got that
nice
tournament
fish.
jerk, put them up here in the boat.
That's right.
Huh.
Look how healthy them dudes are.
In good shape, and there's a lot of shad, you know. All those lakes up there where you live are known for jerkbait, aren't they?
Yeah, I mean, that's the whole thing. You know, growing up in the Ozarks, you know, bull shoals, beaver, Table Rock, you know, and even Lake of the Ozarks, I mean, they've just all been phenomenal jerkbait lakes all through the years. And, you know, I mean, the best fishing of the year is always in the spring. Well, a jerkbait at those lakes is what got it done. So, I mean, I grew up throwing a stick bait all the time, and you know, that's what I was telling you earlier. I used to drill holes in them. I used to do everything in the world I could do to try to figure out how to weight them to suspend. So, you know, 3-4 years ago when SPRO hit me up about designing a jerkbait for them, I mean, it fit right in.
Took you a while, didn't it?
It took me a while, but that's the neat thing about SPRO is they didn't just bring a bait to me and say, hey, you know, here's the stick bait we want to put your name on. I mean, they asked me everything about the way I wanted the bait. I mean, basically what I did was I took all of the, you know, the characteristics of all the different jerk baits that I had thrown over the years that I liked, and you know what we come up with was, in my opinion, the finest stick bait that's ever hit the market, the SPRO McStick.
I don't think there's any doubt about it. But I want to ask you one question: why did you put those devilish-looking eyes on this
I just figured if you got a little stick bait hanging out down in the water column, and he's got them little SPRO mean eyes looking at a bass, it's just gonna make that bass mad enough to come over there and eat him.
Mike, we're talking about what you're fishing there with equipment-wise. You using a medium action rod?
Yeah, I use a medium action rod. I like something that's got a lot of backbone though. So when you rear back to throw, you can get a lot of distance, but it's got to have a real soft tip. I mean, when these fish come up and slash at that stick bait, you want to make sure that rod's got some give so they can get those treble hooks in their mouth and you don't take it away from them. You don't pull the trebles out, you know, once you do hook a fish.